So literally the only reason why I'm recording this right now is because I'm so pissed off. Um, I hear so many people that I haven't talked to in a while say like, um, well, because they ask like what I'm doing now. Like for example, let's say someone asked me like, "What are you doing for work this summer?" Which is a question I get a lot. Um, just people trying to find jobs, whatnot. I'm like, sorry, I'm sick. I'm running a business, and that's what I'm doing this summer. Um, 9 times out of 10, after saying that, I get 9 times out of 10 people say, "Oh, dude, I've always been looking at doing that." Kills me. I hear that, I'm like, yeah, and what? Like, and some people are serious and they know what they're doing, but like most don't, and I'm kind of sick of it. Like, you know who you are, but if you're watching this video, like, I think this happened yesterday. Like, they were a little bit more curious about what I do, so I showed them, and they were like, "Dude, I've always been wanting to do e-commerce." I asked them like, "Okay, what do you want to sell?" He's like, "Probably not clothing because a lot of people do that." Like, and he said, "I don't know. I'll have to think about something." Like, what the fuck is that? Like, so I just want to make a video on how to make a business. Um, Honestly, you can watch this and be like, "Okay, cool. I'll look into it," or you can actually do something about it. And honestly, it's up to you at the end of the day. I can't control what you do, but if you genuinely want to do something and not work at your job, which was me, um, then listen, and maybe you can learn something and try it yourself. Because I've done this before and it worked. So that's the only way I can say that'll work for you because I've actually done it. Um, yeah. So let's go to my little board here. Okay. Well, first of all, the first thing you need is an offer. Okay. So I'm trying to think. My window cleaning business, which my like cash flow business right now, over the summers and whatnot, my offer is basically we'll get your windows clean in the next hour or 2 hours, whatever. Um, and if you're not happy, don't pay us. Like that's my offer, right? For window cleaning, it's like I've defined that as my offer, and there's a few steps. Once you have an offer and a market, then you can move on to everything else that's in a business. But first of all, you need to find an offer. What can you promise? What can you do? Where do you want to put your value at? Like my marketing, like for gyms, my consulting agency or whatever. Um, I promise them 45 members in 3 months, or they don't pay. That's my offer. The offer for um Easy Grow, I will give you 20. I will get you 20 clients in 6 months, or you get a full refund, and I wire transfer you 5 grand. Like if you have an offer, that's the first step. You just have to define your offer. So you're probably like, how do I make an offer? Well, first figure out a market you like. So I personally like talking to people. So I looked into physical services. So instead of online services, physical being power washing, window cleaning, right? Gutter cleaning, roof cleanup, like just all these physical things, right, that you can do for people. Because I like having that physical interaction, like talking to someone, right? So it's really hard to start a business without an offer in a selected market because obviously then you don't know what you're doing. Like I can ask you like literally like what are you doing? You just won't know. Um, so that's the first thing you do. You make an offer. So the next thing you need to think of, like I drew this out. You need to think of a business as like a pipe. This is a terribly drawn pipe. Um, the market, which it should be huge. It should be not a tiny barrel, but I just didn't have that much space. The market is this little barrel of water. So if you have My market for window cleaning is homeowners. That's it. There's a lot of fucking homeowners in the world, okay? But more specifically, it's homeowners in Michigan, specifically like West Michigan, because that's where I am. But the point is, first, if you can define your market, and actually define your offer goes in that market, and then from there, it goes down the pipe until eventually get money. This stuff takes time to define, but once you do, then at least you know what to do. Like you know what you need to work on in order to get to this point eventually. So for window cleaning, my offer, you know it already. My market, I know it, right? All I need to do is present that offer in front of that market. And the way to do that is with attention, which is the water faucet, and outreach. My source of outreach for window cleaning, you can pick a different things. You can have inbound, outbound, cold, anything cold, which is mostly outbound, and paid traffic. Like you can do so many different ways, but I found best doing literally door knocking. I know. So that was my source of outreach. I went to doors. Okay, so all outreach is a way of getting your offer in front of people in the market. And that's what I did. I went door to door. Okay. And once you actually get the door to door and you talk to the market, that's when you have the sales, and that's when you need to sell yourself. Handle objections. Draw the distance between where they are and where they want to be. Right. If you're selling window cleaning, you could say, right now your windows are dirty, and you could say, in literally 2 hours they could be perfectly clean. You could see through them, get more sunlight in your home. Like if you have to draw that distance. I'll make a whole video on sales eventually, I'm sure, which I'm sure a lot of you already know, but basically whatever. Sales. After that, you need to provide the value. My value in window cleaning was cleaning the windows, and then I got money. That's how I started a window cleaning business. Okay, so let's take this as my marketing. Okay, my offer, 45 gym members in 3 months you don't pay. My market, gym owners in the U.S. Okay, my outreach right now, or it was, sending cold emails with looms. Okay, every 100 I send ish, you get a meeting, and at that meeting you do sales. After the sales, onboard, provide that value, actually get them those members, or at least do well and provide your information in a way that they can absorb it and understand, and have marketing and have people coming to the door, right? And then you get paid. Okay, it's as simple as that. I mean, this works for literally every business you could possibly think of. But until you visualize it and actually have each thing defined, that's the only way you can start to make like predictable income. Like, let's take another business for example here. Let's try a power washing business. Offer similar. I can clean your cement driveway in 2 hours, or if you're not happy, you don't pay me. Whatever. Okay. Market, same. Homeowners, wherever you are, right? Outreach. Now this is when it gets tricky, because power washing, a lot of people don't tend to go door to door for, but you can do that. That's definitely a source of outreach. But other things are like paid advertising. And if you watch my video on systems, then you know how to paid advertise at least somewhat. Like over the course of enough doing it, you will eventually get it. That's just how systems work. But besides the point. Sales, same thing. You're talking to somebody, you're trying to draw the pain, handle the objections. When someone says, I need to think about it, you say, I don't know, it depends on the niche, but and provide value, clean their driveway, get money. You could do this, anything you're passionate about, like literally anything. This is what a business is built out of. Like, you could literally think of any business ever. You could even go to far as say it's college counts as a business here. Your offer, you'll get a degree in 4 years and basically get a job. Marketing to high schoolers, your outreach, the high schools themselves, news, just all of organic inbound, even outbound. You get emails like, oh my gosh, let me open my email. It's ridiculous. I literally get emails for colleges like every day. If I type in college in my search bar, all these colleges. This is outbound. these, this is outbound. Um, like literally. And the point is, the sales process. They don't really have much of a sales process. They kind of do in a way. I mean, in a way, with college, you're selling yourself in a sense. They don't have an actual salesman selling you, but you get the point, right? Like, there's a process that goes into them. You paying, um, and then eventually you get the value of getting your degree and your education, and they get a shit ton of money. Like, it's just when you think about it like this, it's interesting. And when you get more technical about it, like let's say, I'm not gonna draw it out right now because it's complicated, but um, at each stage, right? If you draw this out of outreach, there's gonna be like there's gonna be a lot to outreach, or and a lot to sales, and a lot to value. Like for example, if you define like your actual SOPs for outreach, you could have lead scrape 500 leads on Sundays for the week. Okay, that could be the first thing. After that, you could have dial 100 a day, a certain time, at a with a certain way, like whether it's through high level, your phone or Skype or whatever, like for cold calling, right? And you could have your pitch conversion, your pitch rate. You could have your positive resonance rate. You could have your appointment booking rate. And once you get all of those, then you can actually pinpoint the problem in outreach. Same with sales. You can have your show up rate. You can have your booked rate. You can have call conducted rate. You can have closing rate. I mean, that's the biggest one, right? And until you have all those metrics defined, you can't pinpoint exactly the problem in your business. But I can tell you right now, it's probably because you're not doing enough outreach. Anyways, I mean, same with value. You can determine the churn rate. You can determine the average length of a customer's lifetime. Like, you can determine these things and eventually find your problem. If your problem's with churn, then there's something you need to do to keep your customers active over a longer period of time. And I didn't really cover this, but once you get money, throw it right back into the attention faucet, back in outreach. And if you do that so many times, you're bound to make money. I mean, there's no doubt about that. So, yeah, that's the main thing I wanted to cover. But what I'm saying in this whole video is that, like, if you're sitting there and if you have a skill, I don't care what it is, if it's graphic design, if it's talking to people, self-improvement, lifting, video games, I mean, you name it, right? If you can turn that into a manageable offer where a certain market would actually want it, with the right processes for outreach, sales, and that, like, service delivery in a way, you can't fail. So, yeah. Hopefully everything in this video is like comprehensible, like you can understand what I'm saying. Yeah, I mean, that's literally all it takes. And when you choose your actual thing, I mean, think about it. Like, this is why I have a hard time comprehending people that want to do stuff like dropshipping. Like, let me just drill some reason in you. So, if you have a dropshipping business, okay, first of all, what's your offer? What are you offering that people want? Random cheap products? Maybe there is a market for it, so I mean, sure, I would make that a stronger offer because that's not very strong. Like, would you want cheap products? Probably not. So, I mean, you can ask yourself, like, if I was a gym owner, I would want 45 members in 3 months. If I was a homeowner, I would want window cleaning done in the next few hours. You can ask yourself these questions and put yourself in them shoes. Like, I mean, if you're doing e-commerce, right? Unless there's like a good offer, which there probably isn't with physical products, unless you actually know what you're doing. I mean, first of all, like, let's say we're doing dropshipping, right? Your offer, you'll get this awesome little squirt gun. Your market, kids, pretty big market. Fine. That's an offer in a market. It would work, theoretically. Your outreach, whatever that may be, probably not cold calling because it's not business to business, business to customer. So, I mean, maybe paid traffic or maybe even like TikTok videos, like organic inbound type of thing. So maybe you can dial that in, right? Sales. You don't really have a sales process on a website. Provide value, you deliver the product, and you make money. Like these things work in drop shipping, like or just like random business models like that. But some offers are stronger than others. So I'm gonna make a video on how to make an offer because that's a good idea. But if you want to know, just buy Hormozy's book. I have it in the corner over there. Anyways, you get the point. Point is, just put it into a pipe, make it look like a pipe, and then you can understand what you need to do next. And don't think you have to have the service perfect before you start doing outreach because your product's gonna improve with time. When I started for gyms, I was cold calling. That was my outreach because I understood that's what I had to do at the time. And I did the sales process. It was easy because I wasn't charging much. That's what Hormozy preaches. Charge 20% of what you want to charge. Charge 40%, then 60%, then 80%, and then 100%, and then move all the other ones to 100% eventually. But like, the point is, just how do I emphasize this? Just make sure whatever you do, start actually doing outreach. That's probably the only thing I can say because you don't like if you want to start a window cleaning business, don't focus on your service. Don't focus on the 2 or 3 grand equipment to buy like or to get cleaner windows, right? Like with a deionization Waterford pole. Like if you're watching this, like don't try to make your service incredible and buy that. Instead, go door to door with the bare minimum just to get that experience of doing outreach. And once you can say you've done enough outreach and you close some deals and you're actually pulling in some money because you can provide value, then you want to reinvest in buying something that would increase that service quality and whatnot. So, yeah, I mean it's so simple. It's so fucking simple. When people don't understand this, it blows my mind. Yeah. Um, I mean, like in that pipeline or whatever the fuck it was, I understand because I've done it already that my product is good. I understand that my sales process is improving with more and more time. I'm not the greatest salesman, but I'm learning, right? So these are all things that are like they're good and I'll get to them when I get to them. But first, to actually get there, outreach. That's why I'm doing a shit ton of stuff for outreach right now. Um, Not enough. It's plain and simple. So whatever type of business you have, knock 100 doors a day, cold call 100 times a day, send 100 emails a day, just something. That's the main point I have. Yeah, that's how you start a business. Take from this whatever you want. Just know that if you have had that thought where you want to start something, you know how, so do it.